The 7-pot Primo pepper is one of the hottest peppers in the world. The Scoville rating for this is 1,473,480 Scovilles. That is over 300 times as hot as a jalapeno pepper. And thankfully, this one's had the heat removed from it. Today, everybody, we are going to talk about heatless peppers. These are pepper varieties that are normally quite hot, but they have been bred to have the heat removed from them. I'm going to try the 7-pot Primo pepper. I'm going to try the heatless Cayenne pepper. I'm going to try the NObasco Tabasco pepper. I'm going to try the Habanero pepper, the Where's the Heat pepper, and a heatless Scotch Bonnet. The peppers that I'm reviewing today were very kindly donated by Matt over at mattspeppers.com. Matt, thank you very much. You are truly a mad scientist of peppers. To anyone watching who's interested in growing some interesting pepper varieties, go to mattspeppers.com. Let's start things off with the flavor that is currently in my mouth, the heatless 7-pot Primo pepper. And to be totally honest, biting into this thing was absolutely terrifying. I had to put my trust into Matt that he sent me the correct peppers and that he labeled them correctly. Otherwise, I would probably be like screaming and vomiting in the other room. Don't want to take a full bite of a 7-pot Primo pepper that has the heat, which, by the way, I'm going to very carefully hold this by the label. These are the hot ones, and you can see that they are a little bit different looking. You know, the hot ones have a darker red color. This one is a little bit lighter, but the shape is pretty much the same. If you wanted to do a bar bet with somebody, pick a really tough person at that bar, say, I'll bet you $100 you can't eat one of these peppers, and I can. Take a bite of the heatless one and watch them cry as they hand you $100 when they bite into the real one. You could do stuff like that with these. There's so many possibilities for pranking people with this sort of thing. Not that I would recommend anyone do that. But I won't lie to you, this is not 100% heatless. If I'm gonna be honest, I'm feeling heat. I'm feeling heat right now, but it's weird heat. It is not like the same sort of heat that you typically would get when you bite into one of the hot ones. I believe I've actually had this on the channel in the past.
Whoa, that is hitting me right at the back of my throat.
It was terrifying, so we cut like the tiniest little sliver of it too.
Yeah, and then only ate a tiny little piece of that sliver.
Yep.
And you know.
It's gotten you.
Yeah. It's like I tried to eat honey and bees did not want me near it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so they were all attacking the parts of my mouth that I like the most.
Can you imagine like bees, but bees that are on fire?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's fire bees.
They're brutal. They're really, really hot. And the kind of heat that they give you is not the kind of heat that you get from like a jalapeno. Jalapeno pepper will get you on the tongue. These ones get you like in the soul. Okay, you don't just feel them in your mouth, you feel them like in your throat. You kind of flush when you eat them. And I'm getting that. I'm getting the flush. I'm not getting the heat. Maybe a little bit of the heat, like a little bit of a burn. The flavor of this is the warning flavor of a hot pepper. Like really, really hot peppers, like the Carolina Reaper, the Ghost Pepper, the 7-pot Primo, like those peppers. I've had all of those in the past, and they have this kind of like cherry and apricot kind of flavor to them that is, there's something about that flavor that is, it's very unique to this kind of super hot pepper, and it tastes like that. Even though this has had the heat bred out of it, it does taste like that. And it's concerning to have that flavor without that kind of heat. The heat on this is maybe like a 1, I guess, but it's kind of a tricky thing to gauge because it's not like your typical kind of heat. It's not like you bit into a jalapeno, it's like, like you feel your mouth burn. I feel like a little bit of a burn in like my throat, a little tingle on my tongue, but I'm mostly getting like this radiating like after effect of eating a hot pepper more than the heat from the hot pepper itself, which is really interesting and a little scary. Next up, let's try the NObasco peppers, which are a heatless variety of Tabasco peppers. So I've got the hot ones and the heatless ones side by side. The Tabasco peppers that I have obviously are different colors, but they do turn red like this. They do become this kind of size. The more important thing to compare here is the shape. The shape, the stem, everything is pretty much identical. Oh, that 7-pot Primo is giving me the hiccups, which is normally a reaction that you would get from very, very hot peppers. So interesting that I'm having after effects from eating a hot pepper without the heat of the hot pepper. So strange. Okay, so first I'm going to try the NObasco, which I think is this one. Sweet. When you take the heat out of a pepper, you're not really distracted by the heat. So you can really tell what it tastes like. And the Tabasco pepper, when you take the heat out of it, doesn't taste like a whole lot. I'm getting maybe, I don't know, like a slight bell pepper kind of flavor or something. It's not really that strong though. It's not like really giving that much of a flavor to it, which with Tabasco is maybe what you want. You want an all-purpose kind of like hot sauce that is not gonna like overwhelm the thing you're putting it on with flavor. Tabasco works for that. It's gonna add heat, but maybe not like a whole lot of flavor. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bite out of this one. I mean, Tabasco is not super hot, but still. Yeah, the Tabasco is, it serves its purpose. It adds like a good clean heat to what you're using it for. When you take that heat away, there's not much left. Next up, the cayenne pepper. This is a pepper that I don't know if I've had a fresh cayenne pepper before, but I've certainly have had a lot of the spice in the past. And it's again like a fairly clean heat. At least when you have it dry, it doesn't add like a ton of flavor to what you're cooking. It just adds like heat to it. It's pretty good. It's weird biting into this, but no heat whatsoever. It's quite sweet. It has the sweetness and a bit of the flavor of a red bell pepper. I'm kind of surprised by that. I figured that this would be a little bit more like the Tabasco, NObasco sort of deal, where it's going to give not a whole lot of flavor to it once you get the heat out. But no, it does actually have a decent flavor to it. Next, Scotch Bonnet. This is the heatless one. This is the heat full one. They look exactly the same, and I'm a little concerned with how close they are, that I might have at some point gotten these mixed up on the table. Heatless with heat. Scotch bonnets are quite hot. Heatless. Heatless. It's got a good flavor to it. It's like a little citrusy. It has a bit of the apricot-y, I'm going to hurt you kind of taste, but a bit more of like a cherry sort of flavor. It's quite nice. That's really good. All right. I'm gonna have a little bit of the hot one, just a little bit, because I have more. I've got more peppers today. I don't want to like totally like blow out my taste buds with this, because if I were to take the same kind of bite out of this, it would give me a hard time. But I'm gonna take a little nibble of it. I think I did get this mixed up. That's sweet. Uh-oh. What did I do with the hot one? This is the Habanada. The Habanada, I'm actually excited about this one because I've heard about this one before and it's got a great name. It is a heatless variety of this, a Habanero. And the Habanero, I got this from the supermarket. These are pretty easy to find these days. You can see that they're kind of a different shape a bit, but you know, I've seen Habaneros that look more like this, you know, it depends plant to plant. I also have this one here, which is labeled, Where's the Heat? Which I believe is also a habanero that has had the heat taken out of it. First, the Habanada. Very scary to bite into this, but no heat. The flavor on it is good. It's peachy, little peachy, apricot-y kind of flavor to it. It has that I'm going to hurt you taste. You know, it's got that warning flavor. Like if you taste this, it means danger is seconds away. That is usually what I relate that flavor to. But danger has not come. It is just the flavor without the heat. I will say that it is like the heatless Scotch Bonnet in that it doesn't have as much flavor to it. It has the flavor that you would expect, but it's toned down a little bit with the heat. With the Habanada, I can appreciate the flavor of the Habanero, and that's kind of interesting. So next, where's the heat? This doesn't taste like much. I think it's also a habanero that's had the heat removed, but it has even less flavor. The Habanada does retain some of that nice, like peachy sort of taste. The where's the heat? Not so much. And why not? Let's try a little nibble of the regular habanero. Did I just like ruin my taste buds? The supermarket habanero that I have has no heat to it, at least not in the flesh. Let me try some of the membrane in there. There it is. There it is. It's excuse me. So that's strange. The habanero that I picked up is not very hot. It definitely has more heat than the habanada, but it has less flavor. This has been a pretty interesting experience trying some of the heatless peppers out there. I think they have their place. Like some of the super hots are really, really good in flavor, but they're so hot that you can't really appreciate it. Removing the heat, it does make sense in a way. I think it's like not just like a curiosity to take these hot peppers and take the heat out. I think you can use these to utilize the flavor that comes from these peppers without wanting to die. I would like to give a very big shout out to Smarter Everyday, Bill T, and WootBot. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. This is how I managed to keep this channel going, so it is a huge help to anyone watching who is interested in learning more about how you can help the channel and get some cool stuff in return, like early access to videos, exclusive videos. There's actually over 100 of them already that you can get access to. There's a level where I'll send you stuff in the mail. You gotta check it out. There's more information about this down in the description below.